Hi, it's Brett. Today I'm going to try Honey O's. I've never had O's before at all. I always assumed they were old people cereal, but let's just try them out. So you hear Honey O's, you think of maybe Honey Nut Cheerios. I mean, they have the same shape. Bag opened well. They are considerably larger than Cheerios. Let's try them out. Right away, they're 2 to 3 times larger than Cheerios, and they don't look anywhere near as dense as Cheerios. They look very light and crispy. Let's pour on our whole milk here. Let's try it out. Unbelievably ultra crunchy. We have achieved a 10 out of 10 crunchy. I liken it unto diamonds. Oh my goodness, these are crunchy. They are very flavorful. They taste nothing like Cheerios at all, but they're the light crispy feel, almost like honeycomb, even though the taste is nothing like honeycomb. These are delicious. I can't get over how good these are. This is unlike anything I've ever had before. The shape we're all familiar with. The ring is a very common shape for cereal. You got your Fruit Loops, you've got your Cheerios, you've got the Oreo cereal. Those are all rings. But the taste is just totally different, and the texture. They're so crunchy, but they're also just so light at the same time. I can't explain it. It almost tastes like eating a delicious granola bar, which normally granola bars aren't very delicious, but when you find a good one, they can be pretty good. So I almost feel like it's healthy cereal, but it might not be. It's pretty good. So I think it's getting slightly softer, but at the same time, my mouth is getting trained to eat the harder cereal. So it is edible. It's just so crunchy. So on the box here, it looks like inside each individual ring is supposed to be the flavor, but the reality of it is very few rings have that flavor in them. It's just baked into the ring itself. I don't know how they do it, but it's delicious, and I wish they made different cereal like this. It's fun because this one right here, it's 4 rings stuck together to become one nucleus ring. And I mean, it's just fun. We've got so much flavor in here. I wish it was a tiny bit softer, but that might detract from the whole experience. Maybe the crunch is necessary. I'm blown away. And that's saying something. I usually don't get taken by surprise when it comes to cereal. But man, this is delicious. So we've got the back of the box here. It's essentially a picture of the cereal with a bowl and an explanation of why it's so good. I've looked over the explanation. It seems to check out. It says that they're crispy, crunchy, and full of flavor. And that's true. It's all of those things. It says they have corn, oats, and rice. You fooled me. I didn't know any of those things were in here, but it's just flat out delicious. So the back of the box, I think it just adds to the experience because as you're eating it, you're just overwhelmed by how good it is, and then you get to read all about how good it is. So even though there's not a lot of activities back here, I'm okay with the back of the box. I also like up here that it shows you that some people pour their milk out of like a tiny tea kettle. I'm not one of those people, but I wish I was. I feel like if somebody really were to use this type of pouring device, that you'd have to be using some sort of really gourmet special milk, like your half and half, or maybe even whipping cream. Otherwise, I can't imagine pouring 2% milk or whole milk into this just to pour it on my cereal again. But it's all food for thought, and this cereal is gonna put you in a good mood, so you might be willing to try anything. So I'm about 3/4 way through. I am extremely happy to report that it's nowhere near as crunchy as when we started, which is good. We've gone from a 10 crunchy, and we're still at like a 7, which I didn't ever think 7 was gonna feel so good. My mouth is definitely beat up a little from the 10 crunch. There's no way I could eat this every single day. The 10 crunch is probably conditioning my mouth to eat crunchier cereals in the future. However, I cannot fathom a cereal that is more crunchy than this. So I think this has got to be the crunchiest cereal out there, at least that I've ever had. So let's rate this. It's important to note a few things. First of all, life is too short to not rate 10s frequently. If you're so picky that you can't just rate things 10s frequently, then you need to reevaluate your life, especially for cereal. There's so many varieties out there. It's so inexpensive. It's fast, it's easy to eat. It's not impossible to get a 10 when it comes to rating cereal. So a couple things to consider. Taste, 10 out of 10. This is amazing. I was afraid that so much flavor, I was gonna get sick of it halfway through, but that's not the case. I absolutely love it. Texture, I think 10 is a little too crunchy. 10 out of 10 crunchy. We were eating diamonds right now, and I mean, it doesn't have to be that way. So it's gonna lose at least 1 point for the diamonds, and it's healthy enough that I think I'm gonna stay full for long, which is important. So overall, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. If it was a little bit softer, this would be a perfect cereal. I think part of the reason I was so blown away with it is my expectations were so low. I mean, I've seen O's for a long time. These are honey O's. I don't even know if they come out with regular O's anymore. They probably shouldn't because honey O's are perfect. But it's good stuff. There's no way I could eat this tomorrow after having eaten it today. My mouth is gonna need some recovery time. But I mean, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? I'm nearing the end here. It's still crunchy. I mean, we're still at least a 6 out of 10 crunchy, and it's been a little while now. The milk has some yellowish hue to it, as you can imagine, a little discoloration, which is good. Let's try it out. So it has a hint of the flavor. It's not an overpowering flavor. It's not like drinking pure sugar, which I've had a lot of cereal like that before. So it's not the case. So 9 out of 10, I highly recommend it. Honey O's, make sure to get the honey. Made by Post, it's absolutely delicious. I highly recommend it. So go check it out.